So where the cake is shared, if you don't have very strong representation, then women will not have anything. My name is Fatoumata Jallow-Tambajang, former Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia. And I'm a peace negotiator, peace mediator, development practitioner, and also champion for women and gender rights. The conference was a very instrumental point of exchanging experience from different levels. Education is from the cradle to the grave. No matter, nobody is a monopoly of knowledge and experience. So I've learned a lot of things that is happening on the ground in Vituri, in Bukavu, in Kivu, and so forth. We've heard about it and we've read them. But for us to hear it from people who live in those communities was really touching. And we learned that the women are engaged, no matter whether their lives is at risk, they're engaged in moving from that situation, from having peace and stability, and from taking the leadership in doing the different things they're doing. We have seen legal practitioners, we have seen media practitioners, we've seen people from different disciplines who are very much engaged. Now, what I have learned from it is that they need to have strong institutions, because some of these organizations don't have strong institutions, because they need institutions that are functional and well equipped in terms of financing. And the financing is that they cannot always depend on the donors. What they need to do is to engage government, because it's the governments, the heads of state, that sign the instruments. So it's their responsibility to ensure that the instruments are enforced. They provide the enabling environment and then allow the communities, the mediators, female mediators for peace and construction of peace, to really deliver the instruments, operationalize these instruments at the community level through education, communication, and most so mobilization. Most of the gaps that I have learned from here, just like in other NGOs in our countries, in other countries, is the fact that they think the resolution 1325 or 1382 are for them. So they can do it without the support of government. But then they are making government to forget about their responsibilities. So that's why I've always been asking them that we need to link up, we need to partner with government, strategic institutions through negotiations and through mediation, so that you can have partners to support you. Because sometimes the resources that are available are given to government, not directly to NGOs. The other thing is that it is important that foundations like Mujeres for Africa, which is doing wonderful work in this area, supporting leadership of African women, helping them to mediate for peace, build peace, sustainability. They are one of the fundamental organizations that are helping women in Africa. So many NGOs are there, so many foundations, but this one is more focused on delivering the goods, and to the point that they have made us believe, including myself, that it is our foundation. It is putting us, the beneficiaries, in the forefront, driving the force, driving the processes of leadership building. The other thing I've learned is that there is a gap between there's disconnection between training and providing, mobilizing opportunities for women, like economic opportunities. Most of these things that are happening to women is poverty. Poverty, you have heard that some testimonies where they are saying somebody would sell herself for one how do you call it, 1,000 francs, 1,000 CFA, just to buy pancakes to feed her family. If they are economically empowered, they can make a choice. They can decide for themselves. They can know if they are raped, if there any sort of violence, from the domestic to the community violence, whatever happened, they would claim their rights. They would go to the right channel, check on legal practitioners to help them, and then at the end of the day, they can gradually go to the court of law so that the perpetrators will be punished. So it has to go hand in hand. That in some of the future programs, they should look at the possibility of taking some time to train them on strategic planning, on resource mobilization. If we don't teach them there, it means that it's going to be ad hoc. There will not be impact. Each time they need something, they train. But after the training, what else? They need to really have coalition of women. They need to be unified, very united. They need to speak with one voice. They need to be strategic in the way, strategic thinking. They need to be creative. And they need to also, of course, at the end of the day, be accountable. Whatever they do for the women, no one organization can do it all, but they can create partnerships. Sometimes you have other NGOs who are helping women in economic empowerment. They can train the women leaders and then try to help them to mobilize resources and support from other NGOs. So at different levels, you need coalition and you need strategic partnership. So La Lucha continue. We will continue to accompany them so that at some point we can have more trainers. Now we train trainers, but those trainers should also train other trainers so that we can have multiplier effects. At the end of the day, the more trainers you have, the more awareness people have, then it makes a greater impact. They should also understand that they should go beyond just mediation, but also trying to see how they can influence women in politics, women in leadership in other areas like the private sector, the public sector. Because if they are missing in the public space, like in governance, local and national level, then they're missing a chunk because it would be the men deciding for them. So where the cake is shared, if you don't have very strong representation, then women will not have anything.